Today I'm going to try and show you how I came up with my eyebrows and my cut crease on this look. If you want to see the whole look, you'll have to proceed to a different video. For this one today, I'll just be covering eyebrows, how to make your eyebrows, how to shape them, and also how to cut crease. If you want to see how I did the colors, if you want to see how I did my wing, after that, how I applied my lashes, you'll have to come into a different video. So today, I'm going to just start on this look. To start with, I'm going to use the following. I'm going to start with my Davis in number 18. What I do, I just line the underside of the eye using that pencil according to how my eyebrows shape already is. So to be able to get a good outline for your eyebrows, you need to already have shaped them, either with a razor, with any means possible. Some people twist and so on and so forth. So I just make sure that the lines are clear and defined. Then I go in with my brush from Morphe. The brush that I'm using from Morphe is the M158. I just brush them according to how I want them to lay and how it's also naturally shaped. You can use any brush that has a spoolie. I'm using the part of the spoolie on that brush. So these are available anywhere. Like they're easily available, these spoolies, and at very good prices. You don't have to use the exact one I have and it will still work. Then I go in and fill in on the blank spaces after brushing the small spaces that I noticed are not filled in. I just fill them in with the same number 18 Davis Brown eyebrow pencil. I continue doing that until I make sure it's perfect or it looks like the other eye on the other end. I just try and my best to make it look like the other eye. I also go to the other eye and make sure that it's also okay. Because you realize when you do the other eye, this other eye could have a problem. And now I'm going in with my concealer. The concealer I'll use for lining my eyebrows is Golden Medium Tarte Concealer. It's called Tarte Double Duty Beauty Concealer. This one is a bit of a high end, but you can use Elegal. It also works just as well. Elegal. It's called Elegal Pro Concealer. You can use according to the skin tone. You can take 2 or 3 skin tones lighter to be used to do that, so that it can also outline your eyebrows nicely and they appear nicely. Not like the same color as your skin, so that they can also be defined and stand out a bit. While applying, I'm just going according to the line that I had made. And while applying, I'm also blending at the same time. The brush that I'm using to do that, to line the lines that I've put on my eyebrow, is the Morphe M224. Any brush that is shaped the same way as this one can be used for the same purpose. Should be flat with a rounded edge. I'm just going to go on the upper side of the eyebrow now, and what I do, I lift up my eyebrow a bit to be able to see the exact place where I should conceal. And then I just start with the upper side before going on the arc side. And then I blend as well, doing it all this together. It's a multitasking thing. And then you have to make sure it's balanced. After doing that, I go in with my spoolie brush, the same spoolie that I was using, and just make sure that it is matching in each and every way. And also by using that spoolie, I kind of create an ombre effect, so that the deposit at the beginning of the eye is a bit light. And then I compare it with the other eye, as you can see on the eyebrow, so that I can have matching eyebrows. The only way to be able to do that is sometimes to do them at the same time. As much as I had done it before, I also continue checking on it while making this one better. Then I compare the two and I continue to conceal the parts that I don't want to be seen, so that the eyebrows can also look alike. And sometimes filling in sparse eyebrows that are not so full is easier, because you find that you can come up with your own shape and you know how to conceal. Yes, I continue just doing that to make sure that my eyebrows are popping. I don't just look funny. If you think this technique that I'm showing you is easy, you can just continue opening my videos anytime you want to and seeing how to do it. The more you practice, the more you become better at it. So subscribe, like, and put on your notification bells to know whenever I upload, and also when I'll continue with this video to come up with a complete look. Now I go in with my concealer. The concealer I'm using today is the P. Louise base in number 01. And I use it to cut my crease. The small brush that I'm using, the tiny brush that I'm using to cut my crease, is a Morphe brush also. It looks like a fat needle. It's as little as a biro tip. Actually, it's like the tip of a biro. Any brush that is shaped like that can help you to easily cut the cut crease if you're a beginner. Because if you go in with the round edged brush that I was using before to underline, it can also work, but if you know what you're doing already, it's not a beginner friendly one. So me personally, I prefer to start with the small tiny brush to just shape it looks like a biro actually, shape the crease part where I'll be cutting it exactly, and then to go in now with the wider brush that is also I think a cut crease brush. So I go on my lid and just do that, make sure that my lines are very clear. This is very beginner friendly because it is something that will help beginners to make the process easier. If you can just practice also using my videos so that you become better and better. Then after that, you can proceed to the other brush that I'm using to fill in my crease. It also works well on filling in the concealer in the eye after cutting the crease with the tiny one. Some people use it only to just cut the crease, and it works for them. Also, you need patience because you'll have to take small bits to be able to do that. So as you can see, I'm filling it in, the part of the crease, and as I'm doing that, I'm also making sure that the shape is perfect that I had drawn before. I just take more pigment from the concealer that I'm using, which is the P. Louise base, and just fill it in the way I think I want it to look like. And it's coming up perfectly, as you can see, unless you have another way of doing it that is easier than this. You can teach me also. I want to learn more because I'm also a beginner at makeup that is self-taught. The P. Louise base I'm using today is Rumor in number 01. I go in after that with my buffing brush. It's a buffing eyeshadow brush from a setting called MSQ. I bought it on AliExpress. I just go in and buff according to the shape that my crease is in so that I don't destroy my crease. I could have used a bigger buffing brush, but since this is a beginner friendly tutorial, I'm showing you what is easy to use for a beginner who is new in makeup. If you do using a brush like this, because it's a bit tiny also, it's easier to use it compared to using a big buffer brush, or even some people use a beauty blender to just blend in their concealer after cutting the crease. But it depends on the level of makeup, the makeup skills that you have, because not everyone can just take a big brush or a blender, beauty blender, and just use it to buff in the inner side of the crease. You will mess up your crease. So the best thing is just to take a brush that is that is fluffy, that is full, but a small brush, and then to just do that. I even go in with a smaller brush than that has a full bristles. It's called a contour brush in number 9. It's from Zorea, and I bought it on AliExpress too. Then those are the eyeshadow palettes that I'm going to use to come up with the look. It's from Eva Beauty. It's an easily available palette, and it has very good colors. As you can see, it worked in the end. If you watch this video and you want to proceed and learn how I put on my colors, the brushes I used, and how I shaped it, just proceed to the next upload that I'm going to make. It's going to be on the same look, but it's going to tackle the wing eyeliner. It's going to tackle the eyeshadow colors that I'm going to fill in. It's also going to tackle how to make sure that your wing is clean and all that. Also on the lower side of the eye, the waterline. So thank you. Thank you. Kindly come back again so that you can be able to learn a bit more. Thank you.